WNST, Towson, Baltimore, and Baltimore Positive. We're having wise conversations around here. Big shout out to our newest sponsor at Wise Markets. My man Rob Santoni is going to be coming on next week talking about all things there. They're going to be getting me to order groceries online, which I've never done before, but I have committed to do with Wise to Go. And they keep telling me, dude, you just click and the blueberries come. And I'm like, okay, I don't have to get in my car. I don't have to do any of that. Okay, so I'll hear that out. This guy will also come to you. He is a roofing by elite. Gets on houses like mine in Dundalk or yours in Parkville or Reisterstown or Rosedale or Glen Burnie, wherever you are. Also, big Ravens fan, and always good to talk a little football with someone that loves the football offseason as much as I do. I thought of you the other day, man. I had Rich Johnson on, Brian, and he lives out in Vegas, and he was showing me his mountains and Summerlin, and it got me all worked up about like the Ravens schedule coming out in a couple, 3-4 weeks. That is usually the time where I plan my fall calendar. I know you've had a similar affliction, but we're getting there, man. I mean, I've opening day next week. I mean, free agency's happening. The Ravens still don't have a wide receiver, which I know is much to your chagrin, right?
Absolutely. There's a couple of them that slipped away, including, which I was kind of surprised at, Juju Smith-Schuster. That was kind of puzzling there, but maybe he just wants that 1-year deal to hit the really big market next year.
Well, it's going to be hard to get anybody in a 1-year deal here, right? I mean, we talked about this freely in January. DaCosta poo-pooed it in February, and that's cool. That's what he's supposed to do. But then when the rubber meets the road, do you want to play 1 year here as a wide receiver? The answer for every agent in America is no, unless you're a blocking wide, unless you're Willie Snead. I mean, if you're trying to get a $60 million deal next year, you're not coming here on a 1-year deal in this offense.
No, and not even the mid-level guys like a Sammy Watkins. I don't even think, he's definitely not going to play here on a 1-year deal. I think he wants something long-term anyway. That's the only thing that would be attractive for him to sign with Baltimore is a long-term deal. And I don't think the Ravens are that lukewarm on him anyway.
Have we met a wide receiver yet that doesn't want the ball more? Can you imagine sitting and say, listen, I know you caught 100 last year. You're only going to cut 60 or 70 here, just the way we play. Yeah. It doesn't sound like – can you imagine saying to Michael Jordan, we only going to let you score 25 or 30 here. There's nobody that – especially wide receivers in the National Football League who want the ball less or who can even envision getting the ball more in this offense.
Yeah, I think it would take maybe a guy like an Anquan Bolden. I think even in today's game, with the team that the way it's made up right now, I think he would be fine with it because he was the type of guy that wanted to win. Bottom line, so that's what we need is a guy with that mentality.
Well, we talked a lot about tight ends here this week and the Hayden Hurst thing last year and where Boyle is as a blocker, but in this offense. Yeah, another tight end would be like a wide receiver, right? So to me, creating mismatches, maybe not against corners, and I'll hear that. And look, they drafted Hollywood Brown for this. They drafted Devin Duvernay. I mean, it's nice that a month ago was Allen Robinson, and over the weekend it's Galladay. I mean, we go through all these names and stuff, but they've got 7 draft picks. They've used draft picks on a 1, which they believed in Hollywood Brown. I think in Owings Mills, they believe in him and Duvernay more than you do or I do or Dennis does or any of the people I have around here often. And I brought that up this week that maybe they're not nearly as freaked out about the wide receiver thing as the fan base is.
Yeah, maybe they're not, but maybe they should be. I'm still holding out a little bit of hope that maybe, just maybe, they go ahead and make a trade for Robinson. I think there's something that may be in play there. I mean, we're built to win now. I mean, that is one piece that we're missing. And a rookie, I don't see a rookie coming in and putting us over the top. It takes the wide receiver position a little bit of time to develop. And I don't think a rookie's going to do it.
Well, it's interesting you'd say that we're built to win because we are, right? And, there is no we're going to wait till next year, especially with Lamar on a rookie contract and what it's going to take to sign him and where the NFL salary cap's going with these crazy media deals now and Jerry Jones giving $40 million to Dak Prescott, who who is a bit unproven. I would in January, I would add that too. The whole franchise is unproven, by the way, Dallas. But I would say, to your point, this particular period, Orlando Brown, we've given a lot of oxygen around here the last couple of weeks to Orlando Brown Jr. and him being dealt. I'm absolutely sure we've given more oxygen to it than Eric DeCosta has. I don't think it's Eric DeCosta's thought a whole lot about that. I think their thought is, you'll come back, you'll play right tackle, and at the end of next year, you can go wherever you want and be left tackle. You know,
Right.
the league will tell you whether you're a left tackle or not. But I do think it's a fascinating case study that a guy's asked off the Purple Island. That doesn't happen often, and it's not something we talk about around here in March very much.
No, that was a little bit of a shock because, I mean, you hear it just about from every single player how much they love playing for the Ravens, how much it's a family-oriented team. It's an easy sell, for free agents when we're trying to get them to come here. You got Marlon Humphrey, and in years past you had Reed, Sizzle, campaigning for guys to come here, and they would. And then they wind up preaching the same thing. It's a great organization, and they go on to tell others. So yeah, it's a little shocking. So again, with Orlando Brown, it's so personal for him to be in that left tackle spot.
Well, as much as you wanted a wide receiver, they went out and signed a veteran guy and Zeitler on the offensive line. Clearly, that's what they valued, right? They valued, if we ran the ball better, we passed the ball better, right? If we had Marshall Yonda last year, we would have been a better football team.
Yeah, that helps for certain because obviously we're a running team first. But at the end of the day, everybody knows that we need another receiver, not just Marquise Brown. Now, if he plays like he did, the last part of the season last year, then maybe picking up a Sammy Watkins, or that T.Y. Hilton, someone like that, puts us over the edge. So we'll see, or the tight end, like you said.
Well, they've had good, a good experience with the Derek Masons and the Steve Smiths, but they've also had the Jeremy Macklins. I mean, Mike Wallace was, and that's where they've gotten these guys. And Anquan Bolden was Anquan Bolden, Saint Anquan, as we call him around here. Brian Lease is here, Roofing by Elite. They work throughout the area, getting on roofs. 80 degrees this weekend, right? Good. Your roofing guys can be in short sleeves here this week. It's perfect, right?
Yeah, everybody's happy now. It's that time of year.
Well, give me a little spring cleaning for roofing. What things do you find on roofs after pretty mild winter, I'd say, right?
Yeah, relatively mild, but still with the cold temperatures and a little bit of snow and ice and things like that, you tend to get a little bit of deterioration, especially when it comes to like caulk flashings, metal flashings, things like that. Even the shingles, they start to get a little brittle. So it's a good time to get, a pro up there, such as myself or the guys that work for me, and check things out. You may have an existing leak. If you have that, just give us a call and we can come out and take care of that as well.
How many years you been doing it at Roofing by Elite?
Oh, let's see, about 16.
16 years. All right. Yeah. Well, I just want to let everybody know you go to roofingbyelite.com and find Brian. You can usually find him somewhere near a Ravens game. Hey, when the schedule comes out, are you going to all the games this year? What are your initial thoughts?
No, that was a one-time deal where I did that. I would love to do that every year, but there's no way. But yeah, I'm going to go to Vegas for sure, and probably Miami. And then there's an outside shot at Denver because I've never been to Denver.
Denver is it's a great trip. You should do it. I would do Denver. I wouldn't say I'd do Denver over Miami. I mean, Miami has a beach. But Denver, if you've never been to Denver proper.
Never been there.
Yeah, go to Denver, dude, and take 5 days and just drive up into the mountains. Because
Yeah.
I can't. I had gone to Denver. I started going to Denver in 1994. It was the first time I was in Denver. And I've gone to Denver for 25 years. And about 3 or 4 years ago. That was 4 years ago. My wife was after her cancer. We went out there to see Tom Petty play Red Rocks, right? And we decided to make like a time of it, make a couple of days of it, and drive up into the mountains. I've never been up in the mountains. I see them when I'm, down there. Let's drive. And we have friends that live in a place called Grand Lake, which is up, in the mountains. And we went meandering, dude, unlike anything I've ever like. I drove up there and I'm like, how in the hell have I been coming here 25 years and finally decided to drive into the mountains? So if you go to Denver, drive into the mountains. That's all I would tell you. And I got a great empanada spot for you too. All right.
Well, I love empanadas, so that works out.
Well, yeah. I mean, I got great places to eat in Denver. Denver's great, and Red Rocks too. Like if we play there in September, you would definitely get a concert in. Well, I don't social distancing. I don't know what's open and what's not. Red Rocks is pretty socially distanced. It's open. Red Rocks is a place you got to see a show for sure.
Cool.
There you go. So go to Denver, but you've been to Miami, and you're going to go to Miami anyway because the weather's better. I get it. And we play in Miami in September. You get really nice, warm Atlantic water. September, yeah. October, perfect time to head to Miami. Absolutely. Perfect time to be on any road trip, man. I'm really thinking about putting something together in Vegas. So I'm wondering what weekend and whether it's Monday night, Sunday night, Thursday night, how it's going to work. But I think Vegas may be sort of the featured only thing I do this year. Last year we missed out on the bus trips to Washington and Philadelphia. Missed out on a lot last year. But this year I just want to wrap myself around one thing. I think everybody can agree on Vegas, right?
Yeah, Vegas is the big one. I mean, there's just so much to do out there, so much to see, especially if you haven't been there. I've been there a couple of times, but that stadium, I was there back in May, and they were putting the finishing touches on the outside of the stadium, and it was just something to see. I mean, I've never seen a building anything like it. It is so monstrous, but it's beautiful. It's all black. I mean, it's all Raiders, 100%. So I know the fans there have got to be psyched.
Well, I'm a Strip guy, but everybody keeps telling me about the buildings downtown in Vegas that I haven't been to downtown Vegas since I was engaged to my wife. She and I have pictures with Smokey Joe down, Fremont Street when we were literally not even married. It was 2003. So I haven't been downtown Vegas in 2 decades. I may set up shop down. It's more inexpensive. You can walk everywhere. I don't know. I'm figuring it out. I'm weighing it, but I mean, the clock's ticking, right? I mean, this thing's going to happen. It's April next week, and we're going to have a schedule in 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm excited about that. So Brian Lease says to get him at Roofing by Elite. Jump on the roof and take care of folks here this spring. I'll see you in 2 weeks. It'll be baseball season then.
Absolutely.
Or so they say. Brian Lease, Roofing by Elite and roofingbyelite.com. You can find me anywhere the internet is served. That's Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Instagram, and, of course, our newest partners at Wise Markets. We call them intelligent conversations here, but we're going to call them Wise Conversations. We are WNST.net, AM 1570 in Taos and Baltimore. We never stop talking Baltimore positive. Little NFL draft, too.